We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, boom, drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
Wait, you got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of All in the Delivery. This is episode 144. And guys, before we get going, got to give a quick shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Huge shout out to Tony, Starla, Sam, Luke, Jacob, and Tyler for your guys' continued support. Thank you guys so much. Luke and I appreciate it. Well, I hope everybody had a good week. Hope this week is starting off well for you guys. Let's go around the table, shall we? Because we got a very special guest joining us. But first, you guys know him, my co-host down in West by God, Virginia, Luke.
Fuck.
How are you, buddy?
I will say I put a pretty good Legends of Luke story from my past on the Patreon on Friday. So if they listen to that one, they probably got they either laughed or shook their head, one of the two. But I'm doing good, man. The first week back from vacation, as it was for you, it went about how it went. You know, I had a couple long evenings and just sort of knocked the rust off, but it wasn't bad. I felt, I hate to say felt rested because, you know, you'll come back on Monday and get hammered with the dispatch. But it didn't happen to me until Tuesday. But no, I'm good, brother. I'm doing well.
Good. And yeah, everything's been good here with me too. I can't complain, you know, same old, different day now. But we're excited to get into this episode. So let me introduce to you guys our guest today. He comes all the way from Oklahoma. Yeah, guys, he started with the company back in 2013, started driving in 2017. You guys have probably seen many of his videos on social media, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, or even Facebook, I believe, too. I've seen a couple, maybe. Guys, you've seen him before at Hey, That's My UPS Guy. Please welcome to the show, Kali. What's up, brother? How are you?
How are you? Fantastic. How are you?
Good, man. Thank you for joining us, brother.
Terrific.
And I said too when we first started texting that might be one of the best like social media names I've seen for it because you hear it. It's so common. Hey, it's because perfect.
Like my name is hard to pronounce. Like people jack it up all the time. They Kali, they don't want to spell it. So it's like. When the kids see me and when I was driving through and when I did this job or this route and these kids would say, hey, that's my UPS guy. And because I'd shoot baskets with them.
It just clicked.
Whatever. And I'm like, that's got to be the name. And say, because I said, I'm going to put this video on TikTok. And they go, oh, what's your name? I was like, hey, that's my UPS guy. Oh, that's great.
It is, man.
It was easy to remember.
Yep.
And it's just it's marketable. If I want to make money, but
it is.
If just like even when you say it, like you can I can like close my eyes and see just a random customer that will be like, especially if I see somebody here because I don't live in like a very big area, so if I'll see people outside of work because I deliver kind of close to where I live anyway, and it's weird. It's like when you're a kid and you used to see your teacher outside of school and you're like wondering who
is this person?
You actually do something outside. Yeah.
Wow.
But
it's you.
That's kind of what I think it feels like for. But yeah, but no, I could just see somebody just like a stranger that I've only known from the road being like, hey, just here. It's dude. I had to make sure I threw that in there. It's
it
so
stands
perfect.
out with the exclamation point too, I must say. The exclamation points it really makes the name stand out. And dude, great job, man. It's amazing.
it's the number. It's like the thing to do when you're trying to hook somebody into something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
'cause there's a million people out there who, nobody wants to watch your stuff.
Right. Right.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, how you going to get them to
Exactly.
watch your stuff?
Yeah.
Or how
true.
you going to get them to remember that thing? Just what's going to grab your attention.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That's awesome.
Dave's been it hits what we he's said that with like different because because I don't have like a separate TikTok page or a personal one. I just use the podcast one. So I know Dave said that before with like titles and stuff, and we've seen that even changing the name of titles and videos, like even stuff like that. It catches sometimes, and it's weird.
Yeah.
Weird how the whole
It's like the thumbnail is important, and the hook, and but the key is the first 3 seconds. You got to stop the scroll.
Yeah.
You have to stop it. How are you going to stop the scroll?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? And
Dave,
Exactly.
God, that's
how long now that you stop the scroll, are you going to keep them on?
Yep.
How long are you going to keep
them
them on? And so get to the point. There's little tricks you learn here and there just by watching others. You're like, oh, okay. So to me, it's like that's the puzzle of it. Just like figuring out what works, what doesn't, and then tap into the what UPSers dig at Facebook. There's more of UPSers on Facebook. I got 15,000 followers.
I was going to say when he said
Yeah.
Facebook, I was like, yeah, Facebook, because I think that's where thinking about it, that's where I saw you. I saw you have a big following on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I cracked the code on Facebook.
Did
I know exactly what I did on Facebook. Okay.
well, go ahead. What was
I had the personal page, right?
Uh-huh.
And then so I did the little Hey My UPS Guy page, and those people or the page itself cannot be in those like groups, like the
Right.
when you follow UPS.
Yeah.
So I joined all those groups on my personal page, and I shared sharing a couple of videos that I thought were doing good onto all of those platforms. The FedEx, and then it just exploded.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
And then that was like, crack the code.
So
Before that, I was like, just a few thousand views. That's
right.
500
So-
followers. Nah.
So what's so funny about that is because that happened with me back when I first started. I made so I do like I write UPS parodies, usually holiday ones. So I have a few different songs that's like, like one of the most popular one everybody loves is the one UPS is coming to town instead of Santa Claus is coming to town. It's UPS is coming to town. Yeah. So
Yeah.
And so I ended up making a music video for it. And I posted it online and I shared it just on my own like personal page. And then I shared it in all those other UPS Facebook groups, like like you're talking about. And the video just started blowing up. Like we're talking thousands of views in less than like 24 hours. Like it's just going up. And that night when I that night of the day that I posted it, I got a phone call from my center manager. And my center manager says to me, he goes, "Hey, listen, my boss just called me. His boss just called him," which is obviously going up the ladder there, and he's just like, "I'm going to need you to take that video down." And so I had to take it down.
Well,
And
this
was
was been,
like-
when was that? Like 2015?
That was 2015.
So, man.
Yeah, you got to be
That
careful. We got to be careful what we're doing.
Right. And there were certain things that like I get it. Like there was I found out that like after I grilled them a little bit more about it, like I was like, like why? Like what was it? What was it? I mean, everybody's loving it. It's great marketing for the company. You know what I mean? And just like all that, but yeah, dude, you're right though. There's something about when you post them in those like UPS Facebook groups.
Yeah,
They
'cause
just they're all like fish. They're to like the bait. They all just attack it and just
and
it's crazy.
and they watch you.
Oh yeah, they are.
They watch you extra, but the different.
Yes.
Because like it's different.
Yep.
They don't say
Yeah.
anything. They just
Right,
It's
and-
different.
Luke and I also feel that too with having the podcast.
Yeah.
Like our center managers know we do this. You know what I mean? And so like I definitely feel it. Like, I feel like they're watching us, at least me personally, like a little bit more extra, and I feel like there's certain things too where like, like how they like to, like, how management sometimes like to fuck with certain people, you know what I mean? And just like, like that, they don't get that way towards me for some reason. And I think it's because I have this show. You know what I mean? Like, because they know I'm going to come on here and probably say something like,
but there's that fine line. What you can say and what you can't say.
Right.
Versus, what a contract will protect us on and what it won't protect us with.
Right.
You just gotta be very cautious on everything. This is why it's very parody wise. A lot of my character or whatever, opinions may not really be mine. It's just, things that are obviously said out loud on all kinds of groups that people can resonate with. It's,
yeah, dude.
It's great because people resonate, they have to resonate with something, or you take a stance one way or another on a divisive issue, and somebody's going to generate the backs and forths. Then, see what happens. But I don't like to do those too many.
Yeah, of course.
Because those do not, bring the best attention to yourself.
Well, that was
at work.
Did you know? Did you know Bobby, UPS guy? Did you ever talk? He was on Facebook years ago, but he's not on social media anymore. But he really hadn't been active in the last couple of years. I don't know when you started doing, but he was who got Dave and I together, and he had a pretty good. He was kind of one of the first people I think that was making doing videos and stuff. But when I first got on Instagram, he had just gotten like he didn't get in trouble, but he got talked to kind of thing, and that was right. And because I've always kind of steered away from, like, for me, like with anything company related. I've always said with my page, because I don't really have a personal Instagram page or anything, that mine is kind of just like, I don't know if I would call it, it's not really I wouldn't say it's a character, it's part of who I am, but my personality, like I've had friends of mine that have found, like I had an old account that had gotten hacked and I had a lot more local people follow that one, and I'd have people say like, how have you not gotten fired? And I said, do you really think I like go up to somebody and I'm like, hey motherfucker, here's your package? Like, geez, like I was like, dude, I'm not acting like that. No. Jesus. It's a part of who I am, but not my work. Like I was doing it like I was making.
It's an alternate self that you keep. Like I have my church self and I have my professional self, and then this is.
I just made videos.
Time and place.
I was kind of like a video maker that happened to be a delivery guy, kind of. I didn't really do content or anything directed with UPS or anything, right? And I still really don't, because I just kind of, I don't know. I don't make videos like I used to. Man, my first account, I was.
It is cool filthy. When they follow you, though. Like on TikTok, when they follow me back.
I don't. Like, do they follow? They don't follow us, do they? UPS.
They followed me.
Does UPS?
You're talking about the actual UPS page?
Yes.
They don't follow us. Right?
I'm not sure if they follow us or not.
I don't think they do.
Probably not.
Oh, we're friends.
Hopefully.
Oh, that's good.
It says we're friends. It's wonderful.
Sending memes and shit.
When that happened, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. But then again, I'm like,
right. Right. Like, this could go either way.
I did. I hope I didn't.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't intentional. But, other than, things that common sense and people passing away, not happy about that ever.
Right.
It just doesn't have to be.
Right.
Doesn't.
Right.
Didn't have to wait for the contract to say that, need to take precautions.
Right. Right.
It's true.
They could have done it on their own.
They could have. Yep. Oh, yeah.
But whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing. Is like, it's just, safety. I like our methods are, this separates us from everybody else. We
Absolutely.
That's, if you want consistent service, for the most part, you're going to find your whatevers. But you're going to get the same service from UPSers that you're going to get, in California or Connecticut or, Oklahoma, West Virginia.
Right.
It's going to be the same thing. And it's not like the others where the third parties, college kids. It looks like Uber Eats is driving all over the place. Don't know how to park a vehicle. Just you see them buzzing around. Like, why are you doing this?
It's
And they're running back, through the grass and almost tripping on them.
Jumping over gardens and shit.
Why are you doing
There's
this?
FedEx drivers locally that I'll see, and I don't mean to any FedEx listeners we have. I'm sorry, but this one, like, I'll just see shit, and it's, like you'll be at a stop, and the normal guy that's on my route isn't really that bad, but when it's somebody else, like, I'll just sit there and they'll fly up, nose first, truck running, bulkhead door
And if
open.
you're not a UPSer, you don't understand this conversation. Because it's the training. It's the mental things. It's the
brainwash.
8,000 methods
Yes.
that we have to conform to. And you're not supposed to be human.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be like machines. And I can't do that. It drives me crazy. So, we have to deal with the voices that are in my head to then do social media stuff. But still.
Yeah.
Nobody understands this conversation.
Outside, unless only if they're connected to it. Yeah, they either got to be in it or connected to it to get it. But that's true.
The way these other guys drive, wow.
Yeah, man, that's always been the thing when I'll
what
see
about this roadie thing. You
Man.
heard about this? Yo,
that's what Joe.
I think Carol told me sold it.
She did. She sold it. Yes, right.
It used to be like a third party type of thing, branched off of UPS, where I was like regular people. But I heard UPS sold Roadie.
They better have.
I know. That's what I'm saying, dude.
UPS
we
tracking
actually
numbers on UPS trucks.
Yes,
right.
That's kind of a contract violation.
That was what Joe was doing, right? That didn't he do Roadie for a little bit? We had
they were doing that for like a little bit to make up some money.
We had a few people that worked with us before we took a break a while. Shout out to the Rolling Rogans, Joe and Amy Rogan. But yeah, Joe was a former UPS driver, and he did roadie for a bit, I think. But I'm with you. I'm glad they sold it because it's like PVDs, it's like permanent PVD drivers. It feels like, I'm not for that either. So I'm glad they got rid of it.
Just like, I feel like something's going on, like odd.
Yeah. I'm getting
it was weird.
Down. I understand we're going to be automating in a lot of like large buildings, and the small ones, like the barns, are going to go down. That's sad.
How big is your center, like the hub you work out of? What do you?
We have 3 centers that work out of our building.
Okay, so you're in a big building then.
Yeah,
okay.
We're in Tulsa, and we got 3 main centers in those centers. My center has 78 routes a day, or between 70 and 78 a day. And that's just in my center of the 3. And we got it's like 7 service belts.
Damn, so that's a big one.
You said Tulsa? Are you? So is that where you're from?
Yeah, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa.
Yeah, I was born in Connecticut years ago.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah, moved to Oklahoma back in the 90s.
Okay. So Tulsa, this is just an inside joke between Luke and I, but I'm going to bring it up because Luke, did you know that the band Hanson is from Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Yes.
Did not.
Awesome. I got a story about Hanson.
Oh my God,
Yes.
let's go. This is such a running thing with like Luke and I in this
My
band.
niece is a big fan, was always a big fan. And when I was in high school, and then I used to work at Laser Quest, which is a laser tag place.
Okay.
And I was the marshal, right? And these Hanson boys, very popular at the time.
Yeah.
And in the magazine, they mentioned that they like to play Laser Quest, laser tag. These boys put Tulsa on the map. Girls coming from all over the world.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Yeah, crazy.
They would go to their house and pull grass out of their yards. That's how crazy some of these girls were. And these girls would come to Laser Quest and want to, see where they've been. Well, there was a time there when the boys showed up, and I was there working, and there was a birthday party. Little girls' birthday.
That just made the birthday party.
Oh, it was nuts.
The greatest birthday party
And my
ever.
niece was a huge fan, and so I ended up getting them to sign a T-shirt for
that's awesome.
my niece, Samantha, and I love you, baby.
That's
Anyways,
awesome.
It was just a great story, and I'll never forget that moment. And then later on in that summer, I went to Chicago, and the boys were going to be there at this Hard Rock Cafe. My cousins and I were waiting in line for what is going on. It's like these girls, like, Hanson's coming, and I was like, dang, I can't get away from these kids. I'm from Tulsa. And they go, oh my god! I'm like, I just met them last week. Oh my god, you touched them!
Then they're trying to get the oils off your skin.
Oh my god,
shit.
crazy stuff. But what you guys got on Hanson?
So this was, like I said, this was just a running thing with Luke and I personally. It's like a little inside joke thing, but I think we were talking about like the first albums, like first CDs we've ever owned in our life.
Yeah,
And the first CD I ever owned in my life was one of the Hanson CDs.
The Mbop. Oh,
yeah, Mbop.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was called Middle of Nowhere was their album.
Yes.
Yep.
That's so sweet.
Yep.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay.
So so I was 90.
I'm
94, 93
I'm
when that
40
album came out, I think.
And I'm 40, and I was just old enough. To.
But your brother, right?
My little brother had the Mbop CD.
Yeah.
And
I'm 46.
Okay.
I'm 46 now.
Yep.
And I remember just the thing as a teenager, and the little girls loved him. Loved them boys. Oh, it was nuts. Yep. And but they do a lot of good stuff currently now here in town, and they're not.
Well, how old are
Snooty.
old are they all now? Like the brother, they got to be. I'm sure
they got to be ranging from.
They got to be your age.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Other than the youngest one, I would say the other
probably
two got
between
be
our three ages.
They're in their
actually.
40s.
Yeah,
the youngest one's probably still in his 30s. I would say maybe.
Mm-hmm.
He would be because he was.
Probably.
What was that, like 97?
Yeah, I think that guy was around my age.
And me being my first CD I ever had was Michael Jackson Thriller, but I'm like I'm a rocker so hard that of all the, but I loved me some MJ back in the day. Beat It was one of my favorite songs as a kid. So but that was one of my,
I grew up with records.
Well,
the LPs and the tapes,
cassettes.
Cassette tapes,
I had some cassettes.
Mixtapes.
Dude,
I made mixtapes.
My A to B,
by the way.
My A to B car is a '97 Buick LeSabre. It's what I'd take to work. It was my grandmother's vehicle that I've kept, and the tape deck. It makes me laugh every time. My nephews are 13 and 11. So one time I went to I picked them up, and I have a Jeep Renegade, but I had that Buick. So like that thing being a '97, they're not used to where you got to push the button in and pull the handle. So they're just looking at that thing, and they see the cassette. That was the first time they ever saw one. They'd never seen one before. I was like, yeah, that's what we used to jam with
back in the day.
God, man.
My first vehicle was a 1978 Toyota Corolla wagon.
Nice.
And I've seen this vehicle sitting in somebody's driveway, not the one that I own, but the same exact model, make, and everything. I was like, wow, that's the car I drove. That thing's still kicking. It's amazing.
I was a 1987 Bronco 2 was my first. Had fucking Eddie Bauer edition. That thing had power windows and touch 4-wheel drive. It was before its time, but it. What'd you rock, Dave? What was you had was it a neon?
I had a 94 Dodge Neon.
That's right. It was a neon. Yeah.
Manual transmission. Man, missed that bad boy. Oh yeah. I
don't miss the manuals at all.
Dude, I souped that car up so bad.
Dude, I still have
right
one.
now I'm driving a Ford Platinum F-150. Yeah, that's what I drive now.
Nice.
It's nice.
Nice.
and I don't care about the stick anymore.
My
You know,
Renegade is a standard. Only at the time, my wife when we met when we were dating, she had a Civic that was a standard. And oddly enough, that was actually what I learned to drive with to go to driving school and pass, because I had never driven. My sister had a standard, and I drove it once when I was like 16, and kind of, I didn't do too great of a job, and she wasn't too crazy about letting me drive it anymore. And so I never really, I was a late bloomer with that, and then. Now that's I don't miss them in UPS trucks because they were so loud that you couldn't do anything. If you tried to listen to music or you couldn't do. You were so I.
No, there's we have a hearing or noise abatement in the contract, right? Like how much noise we. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
We need to do that because I've been flirting with this idea of doing this idea for videos like. It's in the contract, just
yeah,
and pull out things that are in the contract that we're not that aware of that we can use.
I had no idea. So, what do you know this kind of in detail? Are you able to?
No, I haven't. I was reading it and I was like, I need to look more into it because I have some doctors would call PTSD, and back in 2018, have you read the story on my profile? I don't know if you've done that.
I don't
on my
believe
TikTok
it.
profile.
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, I wasn't sure, but I attempted to save a man en route. He fell through the ice. I tried to save him. I dove in after him. Didn't save him, and I almost died.
Oh man.
And I was on a route. I was a covers driver at the time, so I was in one of those loud trucks, and fresh out of my packet, just made full time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gunning it, and this is a very cold week, and things were just kind of like hectic. You know how that goes, right?
Oh yeah,
right.
And so you got this mental thing going, and I delivered this house that this man that I used to work for when he did the septic stuff. He was one of the customers. Apparently, he fell through the ice in his backyard on this pond. It was frozen. Dove in after him. Oh, shoot, hitting the microphone. Sorry.
No worries.
But dove in after him, and then, but I wasn't able to save him. Had some nerve damage, everything. Got a medal for it, too. It's pretty cool. But that noise, those loud trucks, would like take me there. It wasn't, about as soon as I got back to work after the injury, like they put me back on the same route.
Oh shit!
Same exact route.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. That man.
And I was, and so in the noise, in those stick shifts, and because it was like I was reliving the same thing,
right.
Pressure. It was like, so the noise thing, well, it wasn't really big on those. As soon as I got rid of those, I was like, thank you, Jesus, because I would really pick routes depending on what truck it was, and there was some other things that we'll just go ahead and not discuss those things further.
Yeah, you're good,
because people still work there.
I got you. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but I applaud you at the same time for doing. That is there was somebody that we had that was with us, Brad Sherbert, he'd fell through ice. He survived, but he was in a coma for, what was it, a week, Dave? Something like that.
15 days or something.
15, yeah, it was. But I know that, man, I
was in there for like 30 minutes.
I couldn't
30 minutes.
imagine.
My hands almost froze at it. Like, and when I had help, when they go to try to pull me out, it was just like it was about 100 feet away, and just sending a rope and just throwing it across. And I had to punch through like 6 feet of ice to get to the rope. because I was not able to get off of the ice in a way to, so as I push, it would snap.
Yeah, right.
And then so try to swim up off of it. But as they're, waiting for the ambulance and everybody show up, I'm sitting there freezing to death.
Dude, I can't.
Lord. And so yeah, that's the night though, or that's not the night. That moment is when I've really felt the spirit of God come over me. Just said, "You ain't dying today. You got some life to live." And that was the turning point of when I become meaningful in my life. Do something that means something. Don't just fart it off.
Yeah.
I was going through some stuff and I was in dark places, and now I'm in life is good.
Yeah, man.
I've been given a second chance because I found out I'm a person that cares about others. You don't go out and do that. You don't think you're going to do something like that. Oh, I'd never do anything like that.
Just
you don't
react.
know what you do until you do it.
Right.
And then when you find out that's who you are, I'm like, ooh, I'm a chosen. Supposed to do stuff like this. No, I don't want to do stuff like this. Too much responsibility.
I can't imagine how cold, dude. I'm sorry. I can't, in my mind, because I was thinking I had it, when I was a kid, I was, because it gets, we have cold winters here as well. I didn't fall through the ice, but I was going through a stream in this river, wading through with my dad, and fell in and was, and by the time, and I wasn't in the water for more than maybe 10 seconds, submerged, and got out, and just my dad, I was probably 9, and I remember him carrying me back to that Bronco was still then. I just wasn't driving it yet, obviously, but dude, I cannot imagine being in that kind of water and that temperature for 30 minutes. And so when did you have, how, were you able, were you down for a while, with your feet and your hands? Did you get feeling back? How did that work?
I got hypothermia and some extensive nerve damage in my hands, and my hands are swollen and stuff like that. But it was just the tips of my fingers. During the moments I was waiting, I could feel when you get these near-death experiences, your body goes into this super vigilant survival mode where people see light, and you get these, everything is intense, but you get infinite wisdom. And something inside me, I believe the spirit of God, obviously, he tells me, conserve your energy, stay tight, just breathe slow, calm, just don't panic, just all the things. There's a woman that was calling 911. She was asking me questions. I was being told to answer her questions. These are responsive questions that are going to keep me alive. Just all that thing is just playing out. And you get numb after, the adrenaline, it's there, the shock. Didn't feel anything because after the shock of the cold of the water, and you're in there, but she's like, as I'm waiting, my hands are freezing. I'm like,
right,
just hurry up. And you think you're gonna, they're gonna come out with the little sled, and here, guy, lift you up out of here.
Yeah.
And then, it's like, yeah, thank you. They're like, no, it's like, save yourself, nigga. Just, no. Jokes. No, those first responders are the most awesome people. But it's just I like to joke, so that's the jokes I tell.
I got you.
But it was just yo, and then so every attempt that I'm just sitting there, they're not close. It's not close. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm really gonna make it out of here. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And when they got it, about 6 feet was the closest. And that's when it's like, you can make it. You could do it. And you could just break your way through. Just go. And it made it out there. And wrapped it around. I had to wrap the rope around because I couldn't feel my hands for the carabiner.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like so numb. And you're just wrapping around. So I'm just wrapped around my wrist and kind of like tucked it under like this. And as I tug, and I'm like, ow, this is like, I feel like I cut them in half.
Mm.
And then that pool noodle that I brought with me, because the intent was just to bring the man a pool noodle to stay afloat.
Yeah.
The help got there. But then when I saw him go under, then I just ran in. But when they finally used that noodle to kind of like get my leg up, pull me across, that was probably the most fun I've had, because it was like being kid, just being dragged by, 4 or 5 guys. It's like, whee! So that makes the story the most fun, if you want to look at the bright side. And they cut all my clothes off. I was naked in front of people that I didn't know. And it wasn't consensual. And cracking jokes in the ambulance with the lady. She's just like, it's okay to shiver. Shivering's good. I'm like, because I was trying not to shiver. I'm trying to man up. And she's like, shivering is good. Shivering's good. It's like, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, dude, it'd be like I'd probably it'd be almost uncontrollable. You would think to even ship like you probably. God, I just can't even. I can't imagine. Well, the close thing, that intro story, that intro where it's that get hit by. I had to get my clothes cut off for that one, but I didn't fucking. That was me being in college, drunken stupor. I bounced off that thing more or less, but I was at that point for me. I mean, obviously I had an intramural basketball shirt on. I was trying to save, but but yeah, it is kind of weird. I can't imagine, like, I don't know. And so when they had you, like, were you at least in an EMT? They didn't have you outside when that happened. I'm hoping, right? When they cut your clothes off and shit.
They cut all them clothes up before they pulled me in the ambulance. God. Before they put me in they had to get the wet clothes off me and then wrap me in blankets and took me to the hospital. I was out of work for a couple weeks. Ironically, my vacation week was the week after. Because it happened on my mother's birthday, and my birthday is a couple days afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So her birthday is the 4th, mine's the 9th, and so I usually take my birthday week off for a vacation. So I already had a vacation planned, but then it was like a few more weeks after that. Then I kind of worked inside the building because my hands were numb, couldn't feel stuff. But single dad at the time, ready to get back to work because I got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And so I had told the doctor, just release me, release me. And then they put me back on the route again. And that's when I started dealing with that I had psychological stuff from the event that nobody really cares about.
Dude, and to say...
Suck it up, and just come back to work.
Well, that's...
Because you said you're okay.
Yeah.
And what's fucked up about that is for them to put you back on that same route, of all things to do, like you would think we just did we just had a couple episodes ago talking about of the center where the driver Nathan Burke got stabbed to death by a helper in 2020. That was in Connecticut.
I was in Connecticut.
And that very center. We had a spouse of the driver message us to ask us a thing about the helpers, and they told he had a helper that was he pissed. I don't know what happened. The guy was mad and was sending him threatening text and shit, and he didn't know this guy, so they told him he didn't want to have a helper he didn't know. And they told him tough shit. They gave him somebody, and I thought this is that center that happened here, and they're going to
the same center.
They're going to literally that's still. And then hearing you say that would be
since then, management has shifted. Like I'm not saying any of these people currently. Some of them have retired, some people moved on, but some people are still there. But it's good when you do something like that, because I don't know what size buildings you guys work at. but it's like, if someone doesn't like you, they don't like you even more. But if they did like you, it's like, good job, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that, held you up, and people but, the ones that don't like you, they don't like you even more.
Right.
And if they happen to get more power later, that's not helpful.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Because technically, it's
they
like
move people around. Yeah, it's like, because you can't show anybody favoritism. We're in a union.
Right.
You know? So you got to find something.
Yeah.
So I still get warning letters just like everybody else. Just mine are more petty.
Yeah.
So, just like everybody else.
God.
Man, I that's still, I like thinking, but there's just time, like that's a thing with this job though too, is that there are moments because of what we do of delivering and just being out in certain places at certain, like, it's just, I don't think I would say people probably think it, but never think it's going to happen to them, kind of thing. I mean, you probably never thought you were going to be diving into water through frozen water to save somebody, try to save somebody.
No, but I was there,
and you were there.
This lady about got attacked by a dog one day, and I stopped, got out, got big for the dog. Dog ran away.
Nice.
And then I'm like, that thing again. I was like, I couldn't help myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's who I am.
Right.
And I know this. I'm conscious of knowing that this is who I am, and I have to go out every day. And I just pray to God that I don't have some emergency that I see, because then I'll do it again. You see what I'm saying? It's sucky.
Right.
Because I want to be able to just like, let's just call for help. You're like, what are you going to do? How about, what about now? You know what I mean? It's like, that's just kind of how I end up responding to stuff.
Well, that's not a bad. That's a good trait.
I know it's not
to
a bad
have,
thing. It's a human trait to have,
man.
but it's not good to have for you, BF.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it cuts into production.
Shit. Yeah. Well, they would. I guarantee they'd fucking say that behind closed doors. They're not going to say that publicly. I'm sure they. I don't know. I won't. Sorry. I know you said that. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to dig. Not while we're recording. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
We're off. Yes. I don't. I still, man. I don't even really. I just, like I said before, I applaud you for trying. They can. I would like to think that hopefully, there's more people. Hopefully, you always in situations. Hopefully, more people were like how you are, man. No matter how it went, it may not have worked out how you wanted it to, but you still tried. You still tried.
I get the whole thing, and that's the thing that sucks. Is like, yeah, I get it, but it's like, just like that warrior, like that lost his buddy, that couldn't do anything about it, but that was there. You know what I mean? And it's like, I totally empathize with that. It's like that police officer. It's like that firefighter. I get that.
Right.
I get it. It's like real. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like the empathy. You feel things that you never thought you felt. It's like, feelings. It's like, but no, I feel them, and it sucks. And so, my thing is, well, it doesn't have to suck. It can suck a lot less if you just focus on things that make you smile, or something, makes you happy, or whatever.
Right.
Just enjoy yourself. At the end of the day, just enjoy yourself. Life sucks. It can suck, but life can be awesome if you make it awesome.
Absolutely.
That's a good way to look at it too, because it is. I think there's a lot of times. I mean, I know you've seen it, man. You've seen in the message groups and everything of just, there's a lot of the job, and it's not even just in like message groups and on the internet and stuff. You see it with your own eyes in buildings. There's a lot of times that job it consumes people, and then they get miserable, and then they stay miserable with it. And it's like, well,
that's what we need to try to help each other with. I think, really, because it's like, it's a mental thing. It's not a hard job. It is not a
No,
hard
it's
job.
not a hard job. It's physically, it's got its got its stuff, but it's not complicated.
Mentally and emotionally draining. It's like that's unnecessary.
Right.
You know, they're paying out so much money in like the grievances right now. Like they could hire enough people. You know, we have this guaranteed 8 thing. You know, they would refuse to work a 7.8. You know what I'm saying? It's like people getting written up. I got written up for not working, you know, staying punched in for the entire 8 hours because I was on a route that was very short that day. 30 minutes.
You got written up for it.
I got written up for. I'm like, we're guaranteed 8. What do you want me to do? Like steal time?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
You know, because if I sit there and parked over something, I'm going to steal time.
Yeah.
It's like, no. It's you know, so
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, right.
But I know that. But you know, management has their job. They want to keep their job. Everybody wants to keep their job. They ever told everybody wants their job. I get it. Okay, fine, fine. I'll just protest it like you know I'm going to. I know you're told to have you. I know how it goes. Fine, whatever. I'm gonna come to work on time.
Definitely
Do my job safely. Get the truck back.
That's it.
That's all. When I first started, that was what somebody told me when I was a rookie driver, like a new driver, and they were getting on me really bad. And so the guy told me, he said, did you get in an accident? Did you hurt yourself today? And you did fine. It's like, all right, yeah. It always makes you feel
like
better.
they have to see who they can get their production out of.
Yep.
Because there's people that will respond to that and just go.
There is.
And do something foolish or unsafe. And then they'll just look at them like, that was you. That was you. That wasn't us. That was you. Because we have our methods.
Exactly.
That's and those words are saying other words, but you know what the words are. Those are our methods.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm going to continue to work our methods.
Yep.
Yeah. That's all we can do, man.
Because there's no favors.
Right.
If we don't do our methods.
Nope. That's true. This is true. One thing I wanted to ask you, just shifting gears a little bit here, towards like the social media stuff now. What made you want to get into creating content?
I like playing videos, doing videos for my kids. Like I was like, my son was playing basketball a lot, so I was just, do the thing, make video, whatever, just do it. And I posted a video of a doormat, the Friends doormat, 7-second doormat, and that got like 3.5 or 3.2 million views or whatever, and started going nuts. And I'm like, that's cool.
I guess
something that I did. But it wasn't my face. It was nothing that I did. So
right.
But while that doormat, now I think that was my 3rd video I put on TikTok, and so that started rolling. And I did the Tag You're It one, and then that went to like 200,000. I'm like, oh, I'm on to something now. Yeah, and that was it. Just the dopamine shot. It's just instant, like, whoa, thinking I can do it again. And I'm like, let me get followers from it. Because like when people go to your page, I see it, you only have like 4 videos. Like, I count more videos. And then, you know, I was like, but I've been a creative person as long as I can remember. My mom, when she would bring me around to her friends, she's like, hey, do that thing you do, and it's just the way I cope with everything. Just being silly, being creative. Wanted to make music years ago, then realized that I don't want to be famous because then people will, be in your business too much. And then all the things you have to do to get into Hollywood. And I didn't want to do any of that. I'm like, I don't want to sell my soul to be famous.
Nope.
I said, I prefer to be independent, and this is before internet was doing what it's doing now. If I had this stuff then, shoot, I'll be like way ahead of the game. I'm just doing this old man version. Like, dad bod version, which I'm like, I could sell it. I could sell it good. And no, but my wife and I, we like to travel. I was thinking about perhaps doing like travel vlogs or something like that, and just curiosity into the field of content creation. And then I work at UPS, and I post this video, and it kind of takes off, and I'm like, oh, what can I do?
Yeah.
Let me see. And it starts doing it, and then a lot of things fails, a lot of things do good, don't do good, but it's just testing the water, seeing how it works. I do not recommend paying any promotions. You don't do because that really killed my views.
Yeah.
I did that little thing, and then it basically told the algorithm that I got money to spend.
Yeah.
It was $5 though.
Right.
I had some really good organic movement going on, and then I paid the money, and then a little jump, and this TikTok know what it's doing. It's getting a little taste of all this, like add to everybody algorithm. But then again, there's a lot less negative comments when you don't have so many people watching.
This is true.
So because I can get in trouble if I reply to too much of that stuff.
Right.
I'll be consumed all day wanting to fight with somebody. I'm like, why? It's like,
I tell Luke,
it's not serious.
Like, Luke is the same way. Yeah, like Luke's the same way with that. Like he would like thrive off of that, and I'm like, dude. I'm like, just relax. Like, you don't have to respond to these people. Like, it's fine, because they see the video. Like, they know the video is getting comments. They see the videos again, so they're gonna poke their head into the comment section and start write something like ridiculous, just for whatever reason that gets their dopamine shot going.
Yeah, because I had a few of those, and I get into it, and I'm like, no, man, why am I didn't get justify myself to these people?
Right. Exactly.
And I was like, they're probably corporate shills anyway, just trying to, get me to say something.
So that's what's funny is when we had the contract negotiations going through like 2 years ago between, UPS and the Teamsters, we posted a couple videos on TikTok, and the TikTok algorithm loves union shit, like anything that has to do with like union and
during
Teamsters. As soon as we posted it, the algorithm just pushed it. It just pushed it out. And next thing you know, there's people getting in fights in our comment section of this video. And the worst part about, well, it was good for us as a page, but like the worst part about that was that as you sit there and the video plays in the background as people are typing, the video's playing over and over and over again, and the algorithm's like, oh, people are sticking around.
Yeah.
Let's keep pushing it more and more. So people are literally just arguing back and forth in this comment section between the people that are anti-union and the people that do work for the union are arguing back and forth. It keeps replaying the video in the background. It was like there was like 400 something comments on this one video.
That's what happened with the Friends one. I watched people fight for 3 weeks about Ross and Rachel, whether they were on a break. Because it's the doormat. You're familiar with the doormat?
Yes.
Right? And I had the hesitation of the POV. I figured out how the video worked. I was like, wow, just like you were saying. Like the people were commenting back and forth, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yep.
Wow. And then with the sock video, I had no idea so many people were going to be so upset about the saying socks. You make $40-something, you make $38 an hour or $42 an hour, and you don't want to pay for socks?
Yeah.
It's like, that's not the point.
It's not the point.
And then I realized what I wrote in the caption, in the tagline, because the description, the video. It was after I watched the Roswell Hub podcast. They're talking about the contract and perhaps conceding air conditioning for the pay for the part-timers, making concessions, right? And I was like, that's again, with money. Just put safety aside for money. Like, really? People die.
Yeah.
That's not good. No,
Yeah.
it's never good. These things are not, these vehicles are not the safest vehicles.
No, they aren't.
And if they care about safety, they would care about these vehicles that they have us in. They care about these conditions. I prefer that they care more.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer they really show that they care more instead of just saying that. You know,
Yeah.
And I was once on the safety committee, and but I didn't want to be anymore because I felt.
I used to be too.
I felt that it was worthless.
Yep.
And I may have said I've said what I said at the time because I was unhappy about the way I felt about safety.
Of course.
And I may have made people unhappy.
Oh, yeah.
And so I apologize for that, but it was about safety. And I get it. You know, we all got to get a job done.
Right.
It's not always the safest thing, but, you know, it comes from the top up. And I know that people are only limited to how high they go. So,
right.
You know,
right.
The people at the top, they're pod people. Those people are bred for the top. They're just pod people. They're growing up in these little pods that are surrounded by like an abacus, like an abacus, like bars, like at a crib, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're just math and numbers. They have no personalities.
Yep.
And they're humanoid.
Yeah.
But they're pod people.
Right.
And they don't understand where the money comes from. The money comes from people. If people get serviced properly.
Yeah.
If you take care of
pickups
stuff,
that make the money for the company.
If you take care of the customers,
the people that ship out. Yeah.
The customers they'll pay a little bit more for better service because people are people.
Mm-hmm.
They're not numbers. And now, some people just don't get that. So I'm here for the people.
Dude, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And it is unfortunate that the way it's being ran right now is, safety used to be the utmost important thing in this company back when I first started. And now it's fallen down. It's fallen down the ladder.
I would say there would be those that would argue it happened when it went corporate, when they stopped getting the turkeys at Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I remember hearing. You ever hear the wise tales of the turkeys and the hams?
Yes.
We don't ever get those, but I remember the stories, and I love the stories, and I'm like, man, I long for the days that we get a Christmas turkey or Christmas ham.
Yeah.
At work.
Oh,
I thought the placard was an awesome thing, and that's so small. I got to put that on my truck. Touch. That was nice.
Yeah.
More of that.
Right.
Start
recognizing
instead of this petty back and forth. Well, we're mad at you, so you want to make money. Well, we'll make sure we have the money. We'll pay the overtime and pay the grievances and not hire anybody. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's
like really.
So I know you probably don't know this, but I'm actually a second generation UPS driver. My dad worked for 30 years. He put in his 30 years and retired. So I know all about those turkeys and the hams and all that. And even I talk to my pops every day. I'll call him every day in the morning, and how's the route look today? Like he'll ask me, and it's the same thing. Like he's like, dude, this is not the company I work for. This is not the company I did 30 years and that I loved working for anymore. It is not that company anymore.
It's not that a company that I thought I was coming to because like the standard, now the standard, the methods of the standard there, but that's different.
The standard dropped too.
Yeah.
It used to be about who you know to get hired. It used to be about who you know to get hired inside the building. Now they hire anybody off the street. They don't care if you've been to prison for 20 years or whatever.
They need people to do it. They need the bodies.
Yeah.
Where they need them, they need them. That's why they relaxed the facial hair thing. it's like
And tattoos
fine,
and all that. Yeah.
fine, well, fine with the tattoos. But
that
you still buy them socks, damn it.
Yeah.
Still buy them socks. Isn't that the amazing?
We don't even have to polish our shoes anymore.
I know, but I guarantee you, a corporate comes down, depending on the setting.
Yes.
Usually, it's like, you better be wearing them socks.
Dude, I didn't say this before we got on because I wear purposely. I'm proud to say this. I've been at UPS for 18. Well, this June will be 18 years. I've been driving for I guess it'll be 13 or 12 or what, I don't know. Either way, I will. I've never owned a pair of UPS socks because I wear big ass shit stomper boots that they can't see my socks anyway.
We had a supervisor that would say you'd have to buy the long socks if you had the big very tall boots.
Oh, stickler.
They'd have got me. Oh,
They
dude,
would've
I
got
would have just had to wear waders to work.
You've been wearing the knee highs, Luke. Like you got to wear those
That'd
knee
be
highs.
fantastic.
Dude, UP. Oh my god, knee high socks. That would be not well, dude. It's too hot for that shit. It's too hot for that shit, even when it's cold for me. Because if I'm wearing pants, that's not entirely true. It gets fucking cold, and I've noticed it's weird. Okay, so you're 46. You said I turned 40 in December. When you hit 40, did it feel like your tolerance? Now, I say this as after hearing the story of you being in the frozen water for 30 minutes and all that. So I can't imagine your level of cold, what you would think is cold. But when I hit 40, dude, my cold tolerance, I've always been one of them people that can like walk outside and be fine wearing flip-flops and shorts and a t-shirt when it's cold as shit. I've noticed once I hit 40, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm not bad yet, but I've noticed like I'm not as tough with cold as I used to be. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, because I watched my dad kind of do that. My dad used to be just like how I was, where didn't have a shirt on, have shorts, walk outside in like 30 degrees. Now he's been bundled up for years. So I don't know if it's the 40s, man, but
things happen after you turn 40. And now I'm working on the hack because people don't assume that I'm 40.
Dude, I wouldn't have thought you were 40. Or 46. So I'm working on the hack. I wouldn't have thought you were 40 either. But yeah.
So there's a hack, and I'm about to publish a book on that, and it's going to be fantastic and amazing, and everybody's going to want to buy it. That's the teaser that you get, is the biohack of the book. But no, my cold tolerance though is not good. It's not good. And dealing with that is a challenge, because I don't like to be all puffy and everything. I still like to be flexible, so I've learned how to layer clothes lightly. Oh yeah. But my cold tolerance, no. And then, of course, if you ever had a heat-related illness, you know your limits there. So I know my limits on both ends of the spectrum. Because once your body has learned your limits, it won't let you get back to that limit again, which means you'll go down sooner. And so you got to be more. A lot of the thing with the cold is a lot of psychological stuff. If it hits me a certain way, I'm like, I'm back. I'm like, man, I'll be here. I don't want to be here. I'm not going to go inside. I'm not going to be out here. I'm going to be outside. And that's just kind of get very short. I don't want to be out here. I don't want in the house. It's cold. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel this again. I don't want to feel it. It just goes there. I don't want to feel this.
Yeah.
So I'm like thinking about FMLA every winter, right? Like every year it goes on. I'm like, I don't know if I could do this that much longer like this, because it's that feeling of just being that cold and just it goes there, and it's like, I don't know, somebody with PTSD come from a war zone, be a firework distributor.
Right.
Or igniting them off. Sometimes it's harder than others, it's like, but for the most part, I can layer up properly. But when it's super cold, I got the face mask and everything. I don't talk to nobody. My body don't like it.
Dude, I do okay with heat because I played football at my last year. I played football so I was the NCAA rules because I didn't play anywhere big. I played at a Division II school, but we were under the old rules before kind of everything. Like I always say, it was like the Bud Kilmer Varsity Blues era, like where it was still like they weren't worried about, well, I mean, concussions or head injuries or anything like that, but like water shit. I mean, we would get but like, dude, it just was different. We would practice last year they didn't have 2-a-days, and we were all like, because all these like all these new regulations and stuff the NCAA put in, and like my last year, I remember we were like, dude, this is great. Now, granted, at the age I am now, if I tried to do that, I would probably not make it through the morning. But but I try to tell myself, like, when it gets hot, because it will get with the humidity here, it can get pretty hot. I mean, it's not. I know there's people listening, like one of our Patreons, Starla lives in Houston. I know she's probably laughing at that.
Houston.
Like, you know what I mean? Say,
San
I talk
Antonio,
about the heat, but I know people have
City,
real heat.
Tulsa. You got to give it out to everybody it's the southern region, and then Arizona, you can't leave out Arizona. Arizona gets hot, and it's like a different type of heat, but it's still hot. It's hot.
What kind of heat
in the back of that car
in Oklahoma? Like where you're at, what are the summers looking like? Like, does it get up to?
It's like the Texas heat. It's
fuck.
It's it's sticky. It's humid. We have a lot of man-made lakes, and so it gets hot and sticky. It's like you can't escape it. It's like you're breathing it in. You're like just blowing cold air on my face would feel good. It's not about the comfort level of keeping all the drivers comfy. It's just like something better than these loud fans that blow hot air that don't
they're blowing 100-degree air,
and then these package cars that are not safe. We're open to like all this, like when the dude carjacked the driver out in California. That story years, what was the guy's name? Frank.
Oh, Frank Ordonez.
Yeah.
That was
that thing.
Yeah, that was
what I'm saying?
That
like,
was he was in Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
But there's like people having access to these drivers like that easy. I just. I know it's just nostalgic. It's like driving, it's like your horse, it's
right.
Like proud, we all like the big brown van, but.
Well, that was what made his.
Is that the safest vehicle that we can do this thing in?
That's what was made with him, because he had just went full time too. We really I've always been. I've said it before when that happened to Frank Ordonez. That was like my first year really that I got involved with the cardboard community, so to speak, and really that was like I was telling you about the guy Bobby earlier, and I'd met through the socials, met a lot and spoke to a lot of drivers and got to know a lot of people. And when that happened to him, that one really rattled me, because I thought that could have been. Everybody that saw the video,
it happens to postal workers, FedEx guys. It happens. Like there was a FedEx guy that got almost mauled to death by a pack of dogs who jumped onto his package car, right, and attacked him in the dang car. So what are we supposed to do? Have the doors shut in the heat,
right,
in swelter? Yeah. Like which one is it? You know what I mean? Do you care about safety?
Yeah.
For real. Like, do you care about safety?
Yeah.
How long have you not cared about safety? Okay. I don't want to get on too much onto that.
But trust me.
Yeah.
I
you know what I mean?
Nah,
it's like
they use, and to say one thing on that we literally just talked about. When they do bring stuff up of tragedies have happened on the road, it always they do it in a way where it gets pointed to make sure they install and tell us with safety. And that always bothers me because I think of
puts it on us.
Yes,
Again.
it puts
but
it.
Yet we can't carry weapons or any means to protect ourselves.
But that yeah, dude. I've always again with Frank Ordonez, if he would had something with him
been able to protect himself.
Yeah,
if he was trained like the armed guards, the armed services. Like, we're not moving cash around, but we're still moving something around. We need to be able to be able to protect ourselves. If I can just get the words out.
No, I got you.
Nervousness and stuff, but yeah, it's like you're gonna put it on us. Well, then, but I get it. The lawyers, the legal probably wouldn't let that happen because it's illegal. Because you had that one UPS guy decided he wanted to fight somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
dude sent me a message. He's like, this is what happened to me. This is why I got fired. I'm putting up. Like, he sent me the video and everything.
Wait, was it that
I was like, when did I become the official spokesperson of every? This is great though.
I gotta ask
so I'm
this
sitting there
though,
looking at it.
Because Dave sent me a video of a driver whipping somebody's ass. I wonder if this was the same guy.
Yeah.
It had to be. Was it somebody
Maybe.
that was up by the package, like to the side of the driver's side door, and he got out and just kind of wailed on him?
Because he was blocking his truck.
Yeah,
blocking his truck.
Dude, Dave, that's that video you sent.
Of course,
me.
it's the same. Of course, it's the same guy because UPS drivers don't get for the most part. When you see all these videos of these people doing these terrible things, that they're not. Most of them are the FedEx and Amazon. With all that.
True.
You'll see
That's true. That's true.
It's hard to find them. Now when the UPSer messes up, we blasting each other. You know what I'm saying? We're sitting there, no, it's not the UPS way. It's like we all that's what band together. It's like, get him out of the team. That's when they're really ready to just like eat their own. But nobody can talk bad about UPSers unless you're a UPSer. That's it.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
it. Nobody's
So
entitled
true.
to that.
So
It's
true.
just the rules, and I love it. It's like the rules of you and UPS because we're better than you. And we only know why. That's okay.
Damn right.
Because we're sitting there judging you as you're parked on the wrong side of the street with your, bulkhead door wide open.
even their side door to their vans are wide open.
Oh, I know. It's like, does that
Amazon's
make you
driving around like
faster?
They don't care if stuff falls out.
Does that make it faster? No.
Yeah,
I see you're skipping and running. I said this dude, pulling up in the van's pulling up in the driveway, out the driveway, like this. I've delivered 17 stops in this neighborhood, and you've been on this street for I don't know how long. It's like, dude, these last two streets, and I saw you do. I'm like, you could have just weaved around. You didn't have to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Unreal.
are you not allowed? I guess maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
And Orion will have you thinking you driving a hovercraft, like you can just pick the thing up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I am not. If it's on my right hand side, if I'm driving by it, I'm stopping and I'm making that delivery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
dude.
don't want to do that. If it's a cul-de-sac, one way in, one way out,
Yep.
I'm knocking them
Loop
all
that.
the way out. What about the left-hand turns? I'm going to try to avoid left-hand turns.
Yep.
I've never.
It's
I
true.
can't. Yeah, that's $100 million just set on fire. I can't stand. They haven't brought up Iran here in years. It's been.
Well, the thing is, it's like it works based on the information that it has. If it doesn't have all of the correct information, like our methods,
Right.
because it just sees points. It
Right.
measures those points and doesn't think about how to get there, or But sometimes I really think it's in European mode because I'm like, it wants me to literally drive, deliver across the street,
Right.
to do this cul-de-sac, doing it totally backwards. It's like I could do it right here.
Yeah, dude.
bad.
That's a.
It's bad.
It is 100 million set on fire.
Don't get us
dude.
started on that one. That's
I know.
that's
Shoot, we'll have like a 4-hour episode.
I know.
Here. It's like you said, this is gonna be 45 minutes. Here we are, we've been rambling on.
Here we are. We're an hour and 15 in
I
here.
told him.
This is
I
awesome.
said right before we recorded, Dave, when you went upstairs, I did say to you, I said, yeah, I said I used to be a big rambler, but I told Kylie, I said, you feel free to ramble. And I always, because we never go. We say 45 minutes to an hour when we have a guest. We never. It's so rare we ever go. We never keep it ever to a time limit anyway. So it's
That's the fun part.
we could say
Exactly.
We're driven by
improvise.
time. We're driven by a time schedule all week anyway. So fuck it.
I know.
Why we need to do it for
Like,
this?
I've hardly had any time to do anything really. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been sharing a lot of like just the on this days,
Yeah.
because
I haven't been able to do a lot either.
I just had that vacation and that cruise was awesome.
I bet
It was my
it
very first
looked
cruise.
It looked
Oh,
good,
it's
man.
wonderful.
The pictures I saw,
see,
it looked pretty legit.
I would like to be able to do that type of content creation at some point. I think my retirement gig would be to get it there, but you got to go wherever people are,
right.
But I've been having a great time. This is fun. This is cool. We're going to do this again.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
We're probably going to get
Absolutely.
I think 200 views. I think or that we're shooting for 200.
Oh, it'll be over. It'll probably be over 200 views.
Okay,
You're talking about like listens, downloads?
like yeah. I'm
Of
just
this?
assuming
yeah.
because anything I do is just usually gets like 200 views.
Yeah, no, this
Like,
will
maybe
be I mean, we solid have probably about 125 to about 150 on the new episodes weekly. And then if we introduce like your audience, to the episode, then obviously that'll drive it up even more.
That's
And
even
then
better.
so yeah. So
Well, I hope you weren't counting on it though, because like
No.
there's
No,
I think there's
dude,
like most of
no.
my followers are bots.
We don't.
And,
Nah, dude. We don't ever.
Would you like to have a picture? I'll send you a picture.
yes. No. Well, I want you to send me a picture though to use for this episode.
Oh, a
He
picture
will.
to use
So-
for this episode.
Yes.
I have to come up
Whatever
with a
your
picture.
best, whatever kind of picture you want. If you're in a UPS uniform, if you don't want to be in a UPS uniform, it's up to you, buddy. But yes. But speaking of
And
pictures,
so which
yes.
one am I sending it to? Do I send it to the email?
You send it to or the podcast page, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's Dave's realm.
Yeah.
I'm so low tech, dude. I'm just here to.
I'm just getting into this. Like I've been flirting with the idea of doing a podcast myself.
Nice.
I was
Nice.
like, because like I want to be able to feature like other drivers or issues with
Dude, and they're
things.
neat. There's not that many other than Lars. Shout out to Lars. We've mentioned Lars Cast before, and I don't know if you've heard of him
the
or not.
Roswell Hub?
No, that's
Or
That's David.
That's David Stills.
what is it?
David
Yeah.
Stills. He has people. I feel like his is always when he has people on. It's always directly union UPS related,
Mhm.
really informative and good stuff. And then Lars.
I got him.
Lars
who's
does.
with?
Lars Cast he's a almost 30-year driver out of California, and he just has one-on-one interviews with drivers. He just does it himself. He doesn't always. He's got episodes
YouTube?
pre-recorded. I don't know if he is on YouTube.
Or was he doing? Or was he
No,
doing?
he's on like Apple Podcast and
The
maybe
Apple
Spotify.
Podcast. See, I don't do Apple. I'm an Android guy.
So he might be on Spotify too.
I'm an Android
Okay.
guy
Yeah.
too.
I mean, I
like
have
my
an
freedom.
iPhone, but I use Spotify for my music
it.
usually. But yeah, anyways, that's
So-
But
that's a whole
that's
nother
it.
debate,
It would be
but-
good because there's never.
cool.
Yeah, dude. There's always.
Then there's another guy. Have you? His name is Byron. Bricked Out Media. He does a little podcast
Breakout
too.
Media. I've heard of that.
Bricked Out. You see my the hoodies that I wear?
Yes.
The hoodie.
Maybe
with
that's
the
where I
UP
saw it.
the bricked out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he does a podcast. You could follow him on YouTube,
Nice.
YouTube, Instagram, or I think YouTube and Facebook and TikTok.
All right.
But yeah, he does the cool merch with the little guy. I really like that hoodie, and so and that tends to get like attention on some of these videos. Where'd you get that hoodie from?
Yeah.
They let you wear that hoodie on the clock.
Oh, yeah, they always have those. Well, let me ask you this, because I got to bring this up now, because we've mentioned this on other episodes of the UPS pages and their comment sections being the most. It's some of the most miserable comment sections I think I've ever witnessed. But
They're wonderful. What do you mean?
oh man,
They're the best ever.
I swear, Dave sent me the one of this driver that his daughter, what was it? She had just graduated from college or something.
Oh yeah,
and
dude. She got like
she stopped and like showed her dad like her certificate or whatever it was, dude. She
got accepted into like a high end college.
She got accepted. That's what
yeah, and she literally, and her mom's filming it on road, and UPS shares this great moment of the time, his daughter comes up to him and like, look, Dad, look what college I got into, and the comment section is like, oh, I bet you he got fired for stealing time, man. Like all this, I'm like, oh my god, you guys, like the comment section is out of control.
This is when I come to that comment, I thought about it. I don't take it personally anymore. Like I made a post about it. It's a joke. It's a weird joke because only UPSers get. It's just like they're just really poorly set because it's a trigger. Nothing gets more triggering than accusing a UPSer of stealing time. That's like it's drama. It's like your mom pulling out the wooden spoon. It's your mom picking up to get in the chancla or just to get you got in trouble. You don't. Steal. I did not steal time. You know how much time I spent in the back of that car looking for freaking boxes.
And then there was other comments like, oh, like his flashers weren't on, or like his mirror wasn't pulled in.
Yeah,
like,
there were people. I'm like, God, are you supervisors or what?
Crazy.
The thing is, that's what's funny. That's why I think they're so fantastic. Because they're like, okay, we can bait on that,
dude.
Man,
it is.
It's every time, like, and just every time. But when our contract was the contract stuff, boy, we was on fire. You know what I mean? And so all you have to do is just post anything union, anti-union, pro-union, and then the comments will be lit up.
That's exactly what. So
when it's over, it's over.
We had a hiatus where we quit. We stopped recording for like a year and a half, and we did the summer.
I told him about the video. Luke,
did you?
When you were gone.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, because I stepped out.
It's okay.
But
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I told him about how the comment section in the union video was just
union
like
stuff,
fighting back
man,
and forth.
It was crazy. Yeah, I won't rehash that then. But dude, it was.
Oh, that's when I did the sock video. And then I was like 800,000. I was like, I had no idea that this thing. I woke up one morning, cut some socks for the prop, did the damn video in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? I probably cut it like 3-4 times, and I was like, like I think that I used the cut. I didn't use the cut that I wanted. That I was originally going to use because my voice cracked or whatever. So early in the morning, groggy, just had a coffee, and oh my gosh, I was like, wow, look at the comments. Ungrateful piece of union scum, make $42 an hour. Then of course that led to my $42 an hour. I'd let my boss spit in my mouth. $42 an hour.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you put a ball gag on me and smack me with a leather whip says UPS on it with $42 an hour. Oh, $42? You make $45 an hour? Oh, wow. Oh, I'll give my boss a reach around $45 an hour.
Like,
dude, that's so true. There would be shit like that. And then I think too, I think another thing that made that like be because that was literally, I guess it was, I don't know, it wasn't that close. I was still over a year away from the election, but, like everything else, union stuff and anti-union stuff gets politicized. So I always thought that added fuel to the fire, but that's, that's
why I tend to stay away from the union, or not the political stuff. I might get on union stuff.
It's no win really with political stuff. It's
the union stuff because I'm a Teamster. We're Teamsters in the house.
Right.
Go Teamsters.
That's it.
Supports you because the union is the only thing we got against the corporate machine.
Yeah, dude.
You know, people talk about the unions like get the good things, bad things, corruption or whatever. There's anything with elections and power, you're going to have that. However, you get leadership in there that is really about changing things.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're fighting. You got to understand what they're fighting against. They're fighting against the super machine, the corporate machine. It is a big machine that spends a lot of money on anti-union propaganda.
Yeah,
dude.
And because why would they spend so much money on anti-union propaganda?
right.
Then they could use that money for. They could.
I know exactly where you're going.
Things that make things safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nah, dude, that's
Who'da
true.
thought?
And I think they did. I think that was I think we did get villainized in this, and they did do a good job of doing that on the news outlets and shit because because
now they have this thing with this money, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like in the scumbag. I'm not a big fan of the people throwing our paycheck stubs on the internet.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
You know, I understand it's known, but come on, bro, because not everybody's making that.
Right.
You don't start off that way, so now you give everybody the impression because people are squirrels. They only pay attention for just moments at a time.
Yeah.
So what you think now somebody's throwing the $170,000?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fluff is that?
Right.
What the fluff is that?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. None of us make 170. Nobody that has benefits package includes their benefits as part of what their annual income is.
So
come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
My Blue Cross Blue Shield is worth
and that through
nobody. I made 115.
Yeah.
I'm top rate.
Yeah,
that's about That's
115.
I'm top rate, and I was a little below that, but not far. So yeah, I'm right there with you.
Like with the grievances and everything, it was a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
but just as far as it was 115.
Yep. Yeah, that's not 170.
That's about it. It's not nowhere near close. Right? Nowhere near it.
This is like 55K.
So people
man.
thinking like, who? I was supposed to say, man, who really?
Yeah.
Who puts their benefits package and lists that as that's not taxable? You don't put that on your income tax. That's not what you make a year.
It was they wanted to put that number to make us look like assholes. And
that was total. And then they're guys gonna get air conditioning in the trucks. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then all the old guys would be like, watch them buy a bunch of brand new package cars right before the time you get it back. And
Dude,
what they did? They did exactly that.
They did. That's exactly what they did.
They did exactly that.
Yeah, I got to do it.
So now we're going to have a bunch of brand new package cars that last another 10 years that they ain't going to scrap.
Yep.
Now, with the electric ones, the electric hybrids that they tried in our center, I don't know if they scrapped them or sent them to California, but we didn't have them for a couple weeks. They spent all that money doing I heard about this like $1 million machine that they have down in one of the Texas hubs that's just sitting, not doing nothing. It's now outdated and doing nothing. They own everything. They own all their buildings. They don't own. They don't have debt.
They don't. They're good. They're good at spending. They're good at spending and sitting stuff down. Like I said, Ryan. God, I can't. I'm sorry. I could go.
These misloads have gotten better.
The what?
The misloads have gotten better.
Yeah, that has.
With a $30,000 roll of paper.
and new electronics in the back of our package cars now. So that
it's
when you bring the wrong box.
Yeah, but it also serves as a mind control device, so you don't go insane when you're following Orion.
Right. The worst part about it is that the electronic stuff in the spa labels, those electronic like bars that are in the new spa labels now, is a learning thing for automation.
Yeah.
Which is like it's going to replace all the sorting aisles, everything. It's going to replace all those people. These little that it's learning everything.
They
which
have
is
to have
just like,
something better than what they currently have. We have to just be real too. At the end of the day, too, it's
Yeah.
like the way they can, automation could be a good thing in many ways. Now, some people are not gonna. There's not gonna be so many much of a need for loaders, unfortunately.
right.
But I'm not sure if we can come up with some other thing to combat. Because as a teamster, we got to think about how can we move forward, knowing that this is going to happen.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I
It's
think
crazy.
we should be thinking about more opportunity for pairs. With ear rigs.
Yeah,
like,
right.
like we have to do with air. Air and ear rigs. Because handling these packages by ourselves is not in the contract. We have to get union help. We're supposed to do. I don't know how your people work, but most of us don't do that.
Now we have a couple
We don't get the second person
that will ask for help here and there.
I'm saying is the team lift stuff. Most of us do not do that.
You're right. I don't. I'm with you.
And that's a risk of injury.
It is.
And those things are smashing other boxes, making the boxes look bad.
It's true.
Yeah.
This is quality. It can help with quality control if we can figure out some better way with that. I think that if UPS is doing good, we're all doing good. I think we should. And I don't like this whole thing of us now wanting boxes. I like our SurePost coming back.
Yes.
I was good with that. We just had a big ass snowstorm.
I just don't like the labels. They need to stop They need to stop with the SurePost labels.
Stop printing on SurePost
because they're just crazy.
Yeah.
Now I understand why the post office couldn't stand SurePost, because you have like bed frame or still car frames and everything slap SurePost on there, and then the barcodes barely scan. And then you have our people on our side that do the things that are annoying to us. Putting the spa label over the barcode.
Right.
Yeah. But those barcodes don't scan very well, and they're hard to, and then if they get rubbed, they're hard to read because their small letters are super small, and they got both addresses on there. It's just, okay, enough.
Then you'll have people give them to people sometimes. They'll be like, oh, no, this doesn't go here. We're like, oh, wait, no, that's just the address of the post office. Yours is that little small one in the corner.
That's the one.
Small one.
This doesn't belong. This doesn't register. It's the other address. It's the one you cannot see. Oh, my gosh.
All right. Let's wrap this one up. I mean, we could go on for like you said, 4 hours.
We'll just have to do this another time.
Yeah, we'll have to get around
part two, brother.
For sure, man.
That's it. Guys, Kali, thank you so much for
not a problem.
coming on, brother.
Me.
Yeah, man.
Everybody, go give him a follow at Hey, That's My UPS Guy, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Go give him a follow. He is
YouTube. I'm really hurting on YouTube. I only have like 250 followers on YouTube. That's sad.
YouTube's a tough one to crack, I feel like.
I know.
It is.
You have to be more original. And so that's where a lot of my ideas are going to probably end up, like longer form stuff. Because I like that one you have with the going in the backyard with the mail. That one. Yeah, that was classic. I like that.
We've all been there, I think, once.
Now, how I would have done that different. All right, so imagine you take the camera shot, right, and you have your legs. When the UPS guy come, you have the camera shot, so you can see your legs.
See your legs.
He walk into, so you like, you got it. You see what I'm saying? This is like, because you got to put him there. So, like, you put the audience to there.
Would you have been able to pull that off, Dave, with the green screen with your own legs or something? Would you have been able to do that? I don't know.
Well, it's just all camera work. That's
it's like you get that. You can get that.
It's manipulation.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I got you.
But that was great.
Yeah,
that was great. I like that one.
Thank you.
I really did.
Thank you.
Thank you. I like to see what other people are doing that are doing the same thing, because we don't have time for none of this, really.
Of course.
Yeah,
this is
so true.
This is our extra time. This is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time I just come home and I just spend time with my wife, because it's very important if you're married, because that time that we have home is very, very short.
It is.
Spend like 12 13 hours of our lives every single day, Monday through Friday, or just 5 days a week at least,
in the back
with this
of
place.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
like constantly moving. Like in the
Yep.
package car division, that's what we're constantly on the move. And so, you know, some people like to run in spurts. I'm just constantly moving at this point because
That's it.
every time I've twisted my ankle or stubbed my toe, it's because I was not following a method somewhere. You know what I mean? I just I was walking across the grass. Oh, I wasn't looking before stepping. Oh, I didn't have my flashlight.
Yeah.
You know. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But we're gonna.
I
appreciate
part.
you really having me though.
Yeah, man.
We'll
sure.
definitely do this again. This has been fun.
Absolutely,
Definitely.
brother.
Definitely.
Always.
So again, Kali, thank you so much for joining us. Like we said, go give him a follow at Hey, That's My UPS Guy. Guys, Luke, thank you, buddy. It was good seeing you, buddy. And everybody, listen,
brother.
enjoy your week. Be safe out there. And don't forget your most important stop, all right? We'll catch y'all next week.
Later, everybody.